Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've put out a video, but I've had some changes in life, and pleasant changes I might add, and I've been doing some consulting work, and I've got a client company who's fixing to do some demolition of precast construction walls, and these walls are of considerable size, probably 20 foot wide, 50 feet high, and 12 inches or so thick, and going to be using a crane to remove these walls. And so as I got to thinking about it and started on a site safety plan, I decided to put out this video concerning cranes on construction sites. Construction sites involving cranes pose various hazards, and ensuring safety is crucial to prevent accidents and protect workers. Here are some common hazards associated with cranes in construction and ways to mitigate them. Electrical hazards. Ensure the crane is kept away from power lines and workers are trained to recognize and avoid electrical hazards. Use proximity alarms or indicators to warn operators when they are too close to power lines. Overloading. Implement load limits and ensure the crane operators are aware of them. Regularly inspect and maintain the crane's load limiting devices. Use load charts provided by the manufacturer to determine safe lifting capacities. Boom collapse. Regularly inspect the crane for any signs of wear, damage, or misalignment. Train operators to recognize and report any issues immediately. Follow proper assembly and disassembly procedures. Falling objects. Use safety nets, barricades, warning signs to establish exclusion zones. Secure tools and equipment to prevent them from falling. Make sure workers wear appropriate personal protective equipment such as hard hats. Crane collapse. Conduct regular inspections and maintenance on the crane, including checking for any signs of structural damage, loose bolts, or corrosion. Follow manufacturer's guidelines for maintenance and inspection. Now, OSHA, their inspection criteria is that the crane has an annual inspection by a third party, and then a monthly inspection performed by a qualified person, and the operator is to perform an inspection prior to shift. Communications. Establish clear communication protocols between crane operators and ground personnel. Use radios or hand signals as necessary. Ensure that all workers understand and follow communication procedures. Now, the best way to do that is to have a daily crane lift meeting. It could be part of the PTP for the overall work, or a specific lift meeting would be the best, where you talk about the work that's going to be done today, the type of anchorages that are going to be used, what the swing radius is and the load capacity. And you cover the basics. So it's best to cover, and then you could cover hand signals, radio signals, when and where to use each at that point. Inadequate training. Provide comprehensive training for crane operators, riggers, and signal persons. Now, training for crane operators is a certification. It has to be performed by a third party. The same is for riggers. Now, other riggers can operate, but they must operate under a certified rigger. And signal persons must be qualified. Ensure that the operators are certified and knowledgeable about specific types of cranes they are operating. Regularly conduct refresher training sessions. Poor ground conditions. Now, this one gets overlooked quite a bit, so let's pay a little bit of attention to this. Assess and prepare the ground before setting up the crane. Now, that ground preparation and inspection always falls, according to OSHA, onto the controlling entity. That'd be the owner or the GC. Ensure that the ground can support the crane's weight and is stable. Use appropriate support materials such as mats if needed. Weather conditions. Monitor weather conditions and suspend crane operations during adverse weather, such as high winds, thunderstorms, or heavy rain. Establish and follow specific weather-related protocols. Lack of fall protection. Ensure that workers at heights such as those assembling or disassembling the crane use fall protection equipment like harnesses and lanyards. Implement proper guardrails and barriers. Inadequate inspections. Regularly inspect cranes and related equipment according to manufacturers' recommendations and industry standards. Document inspections and address any identified issues promptly. Traffic control. Establish clear traffic control measures around the crane area to prevent collisions with vehicles or pedestrians. Use signage, barriers, and spotters as needed. Now, by addressing these hazards, and by all means, this is not the extent of all the hazards that could be associated with the crane, but these are some major ones. By addressing these hazards and implementing appropriate mitigation measures, construction sites can significantly enhance crane safety and reduce the risk of accidents. Regular training, communication, and a commitment to following safety guidelines are essential for creating a secure work environment. Now, I just covered a few items here. There's a whole lot more to crane operations. A few years back, OSHA decided to update their crane standard in the 1926, and it's several pages, and it could appear complicated, but remember, the OSHA standard's written in blood. So if it's in there, something has happened and it needed to be addressed in a written form. So if you're on a job site and there's a crane being used and you're part of that, even if you're not part of it, familiarize yourself with crane operations, crane safety, and keep an eye out. And if you have any questions or concerns, contact site safety, your safety, and if all else fails, you can feel free to contact me, and I'll get you any information that you need on working safely around cranes. Well, that's it for this toolbox safety topic. Feel free to use this for your toolbox safety topic. Just make sure that you reference the video in your documentation, where it's at, the date and time that you gave it, and then elaborate on it as much as you need to have a good safety meeting. Once again, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions on safety, give me a call. Thanks a lot. Have a good day. Have a grateful day, and we'll see you next time.